Yo, gang. Um, it's been like 5 days. Not quite a week, but basically a week. Let's see, we are on our way to Sloth, though I think we took the wrong way, so we're just getting free shit. Pretty cool. Everybody likes free shit. There's a secret passage. Just like last time, we mostly only have anime to talk about, so you can look forward to that, I guess. But I also just finished Death Stranding, like, yesterday, so we can talk a little more about that. We've already spoken at length about a lot of it. We can talk more a little bit later. Should probably move the mic closer to Daddy. Daddy. I'm gonna use my Wrath ability or whatever on them. Holy mollusk. The freaking necromorph just sat there in the corner and got shat on. I still fucked up. So is it just me, or is the wrath generation going up with my damage output? In that respect, I feel like things that boost wrath regeneration are useless, because you don't upgrade your wrath capacity ever. You can only ever have one spell stored at a time, right? So, like, your ability to generate it's gonna go up over time anyways. I didn't jump. I don't know why I did that fucking commitment-ass ground slam move, because I didn't jump. The answer is because the freaking wall I was standing on was angled, but it's some bullshit, really. Happened to us before, right? When we were in the hollows. Okay, well, it's dead. Well, that's kind of fat loot. I'm probably never going to use those, but fat loot. It's just, like, too embarrassing if you fuck up after using an Undying Shard, am I right? And, like, it's too limited for you to get a retry on that either. It's not like when I use a Fortification Shard and, like, yeah, it sucks, I have to go grind more, but, like, I can always get them back. Am I in the right place? It might be, actually. I didn't check my volumes, I didn't do the sound tests, I just started this way too quickly. Okay, well, I think we're good. I'm in too much of a relaxed state, I just took a shower. I never know why I do, like, I'm gonna get sweaty playing this, like, I should have done it afterwards. Also, my hair's gonna dry in, like, a really bad way, because I got the headset on. It's gonna make it look a lot worse than it has to. So I think that's a unique enemy. Remember how I was talking about you just run into big enemies sometimes, and like I think that they're bosses, but they're not in Axiom Verge 2. And that was basically what happens. Like I kill it, it was guarding some loot, I guess. Like maybe one of these is good. Fucking money clump. Demonic artifact. See, that's good. But like, there was no boss music, there was no health bar. It just felt very unceremonious. But like when we were crawling in that thing a second ago, that's what we saw walking by. And it made that spook sound. I don't know why I'm smashing all the eggs. Sometimes they drop shit, but it's not important. Burn it specifically? Okay. I was unaware. I always just hit it with the burn jump because it was the easiest way to hit it.
Bastards never stood a chance, did they?
Who?
Earthlings. Of any species.
What, is there like a corpse of something? And there was a demon corpse, but I mean like a skeleton. No. Just a ruined city, maybe? I don't know, I think a hippopotamus stands like a solid chance against a fucking demon, right?
Perhaps you can light the way with your scintillating personality. If so, do it quietly. I don't think we're alone.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm really close to Sloth here, actually. I thought I went the completely wrong way, but no. I know there's a Vulgar around here somewhere, specifically. No. You ever tried doing a prostate exam with your head? Don't. I'm not entirely sure what they're looking for when they do those, but why do they gotta use a finger? It makes it like too personal. It's like a cotton swab in there or something, right? I don't know if they're looking to get the poop out, or if they just want to see if it works right. But like, you can anything but a hand. There's more enemies down here. I can't see them. Because it's dawn. I remember this. There's only collectibles down here. It's a dead end. Means there's probably a tough-ass enemy too, right? Usually how these things go. I saw a web. Yeah, that looks like... Oh... Probably gonna want to use a fortification shard, right?
You're not the only.
Another plate. All this thunder dark is ours.
These are the guys that charged at us. We fought one before Wrath.
You're not worth
Oh. I wish I knew how much health they had. If only I could press a button to figure that out. This guy's almost dead. Fuck! That was too risky. That's the right way. This is a dead end. Thought I'd just check.
Please, save me.
He looked like a Telltale Walking Dead character, the way he was dressed. It's been a while since I played one of those. I bought the Batman one a while ago, I just haven't touched it. I've seen a little bit of it played. It looks very action-y, which is like good. And obviously that's what you'd expect from Batman, but like QTEs for combat are pretty satisfying too, right? Like when it wants you to mouse over the circle and then click, or you just mash X to destroy face. That's like the only time that I like QTEs, when there's an impact at the end of it. So I'm expecting great things. Don't know if that's what I'm going to play next or not. I just got into Monster Hunter World since that was on sale the other week. But I wanted to finish Death Stranding before I got too sucked into that. So, you know, I spent like the last 3 days just playing that.
Now.
I guess we'll start talking about that now then. What, in the first session of this we talked about like gameplay mechanics at length, why I think that it's just like boring to watch but fun to play. I had about, I don't know, 25 hours left of the game when I started talking, so we did like just the ass end of it. I said that I might get all the achievements. I didn't feel like it by the end because I played a lot. I think it took 85 hours. I maxed out all the prepper shelters, so like I have all the items in the game, right? I got all the little stars on my jumpsuit, which felt good. I built the highway, which was kind of redundant at the end. Like, it doesn't go all the way to the last city. It goes to the second last city, right? And like that whole last stretch of it is just like flatland. There's some rivers you gotta cross over too, and like if you don't have generators set up, you will run out of battery trying to drive across it, but like the road was pretty unnecessary for that part. It's probably why nobody else helped me build it, but I went out on my way to build it because I thought I'd get an achievement or something, and I did not. See, so that whole last section of the game, you went up to mountains, right? And you had to deal with snow, very steep terrain. You used your freaking hover wagon thing to snowboard on stuff. You got a new skeleton to let you walk in the snow without getting tired. But it also lets you run across rivers and stuff and up steep terrain, so it was like more useful than just that. What's weird about that one specifically, it doesn't increase your carry weight. Which I thought was just strange, because the power skeleton gives you like way too much carry weight, and more than you can ever handle. And the speed skeleton gives you like half as much, but it's still more than you'll need. And that one just like doesn't do any. If it kept the carry weight, I would maybe have kept it equipped longer. But I basically just swapped it out for the speed skeleton whenever I could. You also unlock a lot of new, like, very dangerous weapons in that part. Which I was like, I'm never gonna use these because you're not allowed to kill people. Like, it's a bit too much to use on BTs. Unless you're fighting the big ones to form out chiral crystals, which I had to do a little bit of. But there were quite a few boss fights at the end, so you end up using them there. You're free to just go wild. What was kind of shitty about the boss fights is that, you know, you're a repatriate, you come back to life on the spot, so, like, you die, and then you have a chance to, like, touch other players' corpses to get them to connect and give you free shit in your world. But, like, you just come back, there's no consequence for dying, it's actually helpful because it gets you more shit, right? I think this is like a case of a game like Deadly Premonition, where like it has unique gameplay that's maybe a little boring, and the story is good and quirky, but like the combat's there, they injected it to have it, and like it's not necessarily the best part of it. I did say that it was interesting when you're fighting the humans, but like with the boss fights, it was just kind of like all of the flaws started to show, like how you had to keep opening your inventory to drop stuff once ammo was empty, or how you had to keep unloading the blood bags because they don't disappear once they're empty either. Keep picking shit up, the freaking no death consequence. I don't know, they were sloppy. But they were tolerable and cool moments overall, I guess. We got an enchantment in here, that was the fat loop, but I thought I saw a cave entrance to exit from. Like, not the one we came in. Man, that's disappointing. I walked all the way back here just to pick up the loot that I should have got the first time. Oh, what'd we get? Is it good? Do you think with this weapon means with this weapon, or just like only the two that you have equipped plus this? Because maybe that's why I feel like I'm getting more havoc. Even though I'm not necessarily hitting things with the glaive. Physical damage reduction. That's probably going to give more physical damage overall than this, but is more health better than a general damage reduction? Maybe. It's not like there's a cap on health, right? So, like, I guess they're probably equal. But health would cover both damage types, so I guess it's more useful. Or maybe the damage resistance is better because it, like, reduces how much you take overall. Like, that health's done once it's done. That's hard math. I don't want to... I'd like to know the answer, but I don't want to put in the work to figure it out. My money's on the damage reduction being better. I think that's Volgrim over there. What's over here? Probably a dead end. Right, so once you walk to the end of the map, first I want to say apparently you were walking across the whole of America, even though it was like 2 islands. So like the size feels a bit off, and the shape, but alright, especially with the orientation of it all, like, you were going further west, but the end of the map is, like, just a little bit westward than the middle of the map, which was South Knot City. Like, actually. Even though you had to, like, do a whole U-turn, you couldn't just walk over the mountain. I'm going backwards. Once you get there, it actually gives you, like, the least handholdy thing. When they tell you, you just gotta figure out a way to cross the tar belt. Like, there's just a big lake of tar that you have to get across, and, you know, tar's where the BTs come from, and it'll swallow you if you walk in it. So, like, you're just kind of fucked. You can't really build anything to get across it, and, like, you get a couple mails with hints as to what to do, but it's still not very obvious, so, like, freaking respect if you figured it out. I had to look it up. And I was almost right with my first guess, right? Basically the mails told me that the tar would swallow things up and spit it back out, and the way it was somewhere else. Or it would come back and then would get swallowed and come back later, maybe. So I was like, okay, am I supposed to take a leap of faith and just jump in it for once? And it didn't work. What I actually had to do was willingly get myself caught by a BT and dragged out into the beach. So, like, that was cool. Where they dragged you out into the middle of the ocean, and then the, like, event actually started happening, where all the buildings that got swallowed up started coming up to make a path for you to run across. And then once you get to the other side, finally, it's just like a real simple delivery through a BT zone, which I just ran through. I had the speed skeleton, they pretty hard to touch me when you got that. And then boss fights start happening, and a lot of the exposition. Like, the game started with a half-hour cutscenes, so you've got like another hour and a half or more of them ahead of you at the end of the game, but there wasn't too much in between.
Good eating. This will be fun for both of us.
I did say they were like drip feeding information to you over time, but that information was all written like in-game by scientists and stuff, so like it's all speculation, I guess. So they really start to hit you with a ton of twists.
Do make sure
And new surprising revelations. And, like, the fucking villain of the game changed, like, 4 times within that 1 hour period. I don't know, it kept my attention. I guess I'm still, like, in the phase where I'm trying to digest what the fuck I just watched. Like, I think it made sense in the moment. I didn't feel confused, but, like, I still don't feel like I can tell you what happened. I used a fortification shard or something. Not a heal. That's why we died. Yeah, I thought it was good. Once you're done with that first section at the end, they like send you back to the previous island, right? And they tell you shit's getting really fucked up, the weather's going crazy, the BTs are going crazy, and you have to run all the way back to the start of the game. It's a really long walk. And they try to throw in some music for you, but like it's chill music, like the whole soundtrack has been, and like it's good. But it has the same issue where, like, it starts at a bad time and then it ends way too quickly because, like, it gets interrupted by something. So, eventually I just gave up on that and I fucking opened up YouTube and threw on Eurobeat and it was pretty great. Something about a guy running to Eurobeat over mountains and shit in the rain, very 80s. You get another boss fight before the end, and then, like, just really long cutscenes afterwards. You get the impression that you're gonna make a choice, but, like, you don't. You just sit in a situation where you have to figure out what to do. Which I guess was a wholesome message with what you had to do, right? Did I spoil it? How many people are actually going to get to the end of the game? I don't think a lot, right? Or, it's not even a spoiler for the story. I'm gonna... The way to win is to hug, alright? Violence does not help you in a world where death is fucked up. So you end up hugging the big bad. And that doesn't necessarily solve everything, like the world is still fucked at the end, but you stop the real fucking for a while at least. And then you get like a ton of more exposition and like basically you went over to the beach physically at the end, and once you stop the fucking, you are trapped there, right? So you can run around or you can sit down and get exposition shat at you while the credits roll. But it's just a really long time, like a lot longer than it needed to be with padding. There's just nothing to do in between. Like it wants you to run around for a while first between expositions. But there's nothing to do. It's really weird. I swear I watched credits like 3 fucking times before they were the actual credits. I don't know how many times you need to fucking credit all the celebrities you put in your game. Like, this character was played by this guy, but also their voice actor was the same guy. But also the motion capture was the same guy, and the model was used the likeness of the same guy. We'll see like 8 fucking credits from Norman Reedus. And then, of course, like 3 times as much for Kojima, because he loves himself. And after that, if you choose to keep going just a little bit longer, you do have one more mission where I talked about how the BVs were like unborn. They're fetuses that were taken out of mothers who went into comas because they were never going to be born, and then they were turned into equipment, right? So they don't last very long. So yours, by the end of the game, is finally ready to be decommissioned, and it's your job to take them to the incinerator. I imagine is very controversial, and you have to go to that incinerator if you want to finish it and get the last bit of exposition and stuff, right? So, spoilers, he doesn't do it, but, like, you have to push the button and hit accept to incinerate, like he thought he was going to. And, like, I guess it has a happy resolution, but before that, there's, like, this really fucking upsetting cutscene of him, like, fondling with a dead fetus. Not fondling, like, sexually, like, fumbling around, just like, you know, wake up, damn it! And yeah, I was tearing up until the happy started, but I'm surprised they freaking put that in and nobody talked about it. I'm assuming nobody made it that far, especially not the critics. And that's why it wasn't a bigger deal. As you might expect, they explain a lot of things. It's very much a science fiction story, but the thing about science fiction is there's always one element of mystic bullshit, right? That's what lets it all happen. So, like, as much as they try to explain things and it seems to make sense, it just overall bullshit, right? Are there multiple in one place? What the fuck's happening? Oh, also, when you're delivering the baby, wow, that has a completely different meaning than what it does. Since you're taking it to its death and all. An actual original piece of music, like not licensed stuff, comes on for once, like as soon as the delivery starts. So you get to hear the whole song. It's actually really good. I just feel like they really nailed the ending. And, like, as much as I was just sitting there watching cutscenes for a lot of it, it was just really good. And that whole walk back to the beginning of the game, like, I mastered the terrain, all the structures I built, and all the stuff other people built, like my connections with them were all coming in handy. Like, it took a long-ass time. It took, like, 60 hours or so to get across all of that bullshit. And I just went through it in a few minutes. Because I mastered the terrain or whatever. I made the world my own. That felt really cathartic to go back through it all. And you got some beautiful music. Some jank boss fights, but they were fun. And just a ton of freaking exposition, man. Like, all the names, remember I said they all mean things? They actually go and explain every single one of them. And a lot of them have multiple meanings. Remember I said your name is Sam Schran? That's not even your real fucking name anymore, right? This man has like 5 fucking names. And they all have double meanings. Even Die Hardman got explained eventually. Took the longest, though. And, you know, every time it happened, I'm just there like Jackie Chan meme. So, you know how Angry Joe's reviews, he, like, has a badass stamp of approval that he gives the stuff that he, like, really personally liked, but maybe didn't get a perfect score objectively? I think that that's something that I'll have to do here, where, like, I'll give it, like, an 8 as a game, but, like, as a philosophical art piece, as something that I personally enjoyed with my freaking mule brain that likes delivering stuff, it's a fucking masterpiece, alright?
Mistress, your talisman.
We're close. This time you watch. You do not speak.
Good eating. This will be fun for as you wish. Take your time. As you wish.
Oh, it also gave me, like, an overall rating at the end based on all the shit I did. And, I learned that there was a rank for delivery beyond what I was capable of. I thought the best you could do was Legend of Legends, but there's one above it called Legend of Legends, and I've never gotten that despite, like, delivering stuff in perfect condition really fast. Building zip lines to take me right to the destinations. Never happened. I don't know how to do that. Maybe they're only achievable for story missions or something. Which you can't redo, which would be why.
Fury. Fantastic.
Your day of reckoning is at hand, Sloth. You will be judged in combat like all the others.
Darling, please. Do I look like I'll be fighting anything or anyone anytime soon?
You have
No.
no choice.
There's always a choice, darling. I choose not to choose. Too much of a bother. I'd laugh at you, but it's too much effort. Don't take offense. You're playing your part well in our wee morality play. But really, why bother? It's the apocalypse. Woo. I'm completely over it. My sole concern is comfort.
That sounds familiar.
Mouth.
And then you can see I have many minions for that. It's all they live for. You should try it. I've bought you a few slaves if you'll just relax.
I shall once you and your kin lie dead. I only hope the rest put up more of a fight than you.
Let them stand or fall. It matters not to me. You understand, don't you, horseman? The futility of it. Why not join me? Take a load off and enjoy the nothingness. I bet you'd take to it quite easily.
It doesn't look very comfortable.
Abandon your mission.
No.
Is that so? The great Fury would not allow herself to fall prey to such a creature. Are you truly up to the task?
Anger is not lazy. Jeez, a bit of lag. So Donkey actually made a new video on it like a week ago, which was a really strange coincidence considering how much he shat on it the first time, right? And this time he actually praised it a bit, like, thought it was fun. He said he replayed it for like the 3rd time, so I guess he actually liked it. That's the issue, like, he sometimes, right, he's very funny, but he does a lot of satire, right? Which people, like, take as his actual opinion or truth, because you can't tell with the way he's freaking framing things. Which I guess is the point, like, if it's good satire, it sounds serious, but, like, he never comes clean about what his actual intentions are. And sometimes that's detrimental to the product. Or in the case of Knack 2, it's a good thing, where he says it's the best thing ever, even though it's, like, a really bog-standard platformer. And, like, that's the whole joke. Like, it's just a fucking platformer, and it's an exclusive for some reason. So, I don't know, I guess it's good that he, like, gave it some praise, and he probably only replayed it because the Definitive Edition came out, right? Which is not the one that's on PC, I don't think. So they added some new areas and new items in that version.
Energy left to taunt you. Kill you? Yes, we're no more taunting.
I don't have enough heals. I also wasted like the whole fucking thing. I don't know, I guess that I want to point out specifically that, like, when he was talking about the story in the new video, it was satire, I think. Like, he gives you half-truths. He tells you things or shows you cutscenes, like, out of context or whatever, you know, to make his own narrative. And then he either missed the point of what happened at the end, or he's, again, being satire-y. It's really impossible to tell with this guy. But like he said, all the game needed was just this human story of the depressed man getting reconnected with the world through deliveries. And stuff like that, but then, like, you get to the end, he's like, I have no connections to anyone, I should be dead. Felt that way to start, and I still feel that way. And, yeah, what actually happened was what I think happened, because he lost his fear of touching people, right? He doesn't get bruises for hugging people or whatever anymore. And, like, he gets very touchy with fucking dead man stuff, because they're boys now. So, like, I think that he did reconnect with people, but he's, like, willingly giving all that up to go take care of the BB. Because, again, he took it out of the pod at the end, right? And I said it was happy, so it's obviously still alive. And that's, like, not allowed. This is banned technology. He was supposed to take it to the incinerator. It's supposed to be dead, reverse avoiding void outs, so he's technically a terrorist now. So, yeah, he had to, like, leave behind the America he just built, all the friends he just made, for the sake of taking care of that child. Which is kind of ironic, because he originally left everyone after his child died. Or his wife died and she was pregnant. But, like, you know, the new kid is like a substitute for that. He even gave it the same name. I don't know why I'm mashing with that. I know my whip is way stronger right now. I only need it to apply status effects. And to heal. What? What? I shouldn't have dodged sideways. I want to be on his side so he doesn't hit me, but he dodged backwards. He was obviously swinging to the side. I wish I could skip this. Ugh. This one. Thanks for not attacking the boss tornadoes. Fuck. The damage boost from that only takes effect when I have it equipped, I think. That sucks.
You're making me move.
Ah. Ooh. Yeah, you know what? I lied. He actually has a lot of reach on that, and you just have to perfect dodge it, or get the fuck out. There's a fork shard. And like, no. Ooh! Also, remember how we talked about the freaking Elden Ring gameplay last time? Apparently there's like a demo too that you can play, which I guess is for multiplayer testing, but like, I think you get access to it if you pre-order. Maybe a reason to actually pre-order for once. If you paid early, you get to play early, that's fair. And you get to give them feedback, which can help make the game better, right? It's maybe the best way to do things. Fuck. You know, I told you how it looked, but there are people who can actually tell you how it plays. I'm kind of freaking upset that all the information's coming out like right now, and it's still like 4 months away though. Yeah, they need to start marketing at some point, but like, now the hype is a bit much. I wonder how many kids are gonna like put Elden Ring on their fucking Christmas list and the parents are gonna have to figure out that it's not out yet. I've done that before. Because they've been showing commercials for games that aren't coming out till fucking middle of next year. Like Dying Light 2 has been doing that too. You know how much I want that game? Also, like, what the fuck happened to Dead Island 2? How'd they make Dying Light 2 before that? It's the same developer, isn't it? I know it's in development hell, but like, why? How fucking hard is it to make a game where you kill zombies? The answer is not, because they made 2 since then, right? Or I wasn't too into that anyways, so it's fine. Like, I played the first one to the end, but like, I didn't love it. Could have been better. It got pretty stale towards the middle of it. Which is not where you want to start getting stale. Of course, I did pick the boring character, Sam B, who just uses blunt weapons. When I have fun, you pick the guy who throws shit. Sneezing boy.
You realize
So, can I hurt him by, like, throwing the glaive? No, he's invincible. God. A little bit of that water, like, dripped out of my mouth, and it's on my stick, and it's making it slippery. Yeah.
Battle for your head.
Wow.
The least you can do is momentarily entertain.
I am only noticing now because I'm actually doing damage with the burning, but the burning's giving me lifesteal too. I thought it was only on the physical damage.
You're amazing. And it well spent. Can we stop fighting now?
What do you mean you shot backwards?
The least you can do is momentarily hesitate.
Think of my whip.
Battle for your head. What are you
Did you see how the green lurcher went into that cluster? That means that, like, there could be more than one in there right now, and I want to wait until I've used a few of my heals before I pick it up. think that the claw's counterattack doesn't do burning. It's just that arcane damage. Which I guess I prefer. It also means... Nah, I lied. Maybe it's only on some of them? So far, the only difference seems to be that one has a wider range of attack, like it's a 180-degree cone in front of the character. So you can, like, swipe with both arms. But also, they're just a little slower, a little more damage. Balance out. And I guess the attacks maybe have less commitment and that they're less easy to get stuck in a spam chain of. Because they're slower. So, like, I feel like I play safer with them, at least. Probably shouldn't have wasted that. Probably didn't even need it. But whatever.
You must be so fulfilled. What change do you think killing me will enact on this sad crusade?
Well, usually I get an ability.
Are you begging?
I don't think I do this time, though.
Sweetheart, I let slaves wipe my ass with the wings of angels while I enjoy a morning tea. Dignity is a myth, like the balance you fight. Aren't you exhausted?
Yes. But even the most grueling fight is less tiring than taking no action at all. Most exercise he's had in a millennium.
Yeah, no reward. I wonder if they did that because he was the demo boss and they didn't want to, like, break anything after that, or by, like, unchaining the follow-up events. Or cut. It's actually exactly where I wanted to go. I don't know if that's all there is to this area. I guess so.
Your reputation precedes you, horseman. The Crucible is buzzing, and Targon wishes to meet the warrior behind the words.
How flattering.
You may flatter him with a visit in turn.
We still haven't done the first one. We're probably more than strong enough to do it.
This will be fun for both of us. As you wish.
Go there. I was gonna go to the Void place, but you know, let's go to the Crucible instead. See what kind of rewards we get for that.
Please take your time.
Fury! I see you received my invitation.
What is this place?
Welcome to the Crucible! I named it myself. Here, every warrior gets what they deserve. To the victors, the spoils, and to the weak, an early grave. The more enemies you slay, the farther into the Crucible you may pass. Should you meet an untimely end, your journey will come to a close. All you had earned will be lost, and you will begin the challenge anew. That is, unless you take advantage of progress points activated along the way. But be warned, horseman. Using a progress point will keep you from fully completing the challenge, assuring your absence from the pantheon of greatness. If you accept the offering, your journey into the Crucible ends. But if you decline, you stay the course with the promise of an even greater reward.
Each wave has a starting score value based on difficulty setting, increasing by +50 every 5 consecutive waves. Avoiding all damage during a wave will increase the score by 250 for a normal wave and 625 for a boss wave. Your score resets if you die or quit the Crucible. 1,000 points equals 1 medal. Do you expect me to kill a boss without getting hit? And I guess I only need to beat 4 waves to get a full score, right? And so can I get multiple medals for a thing? Because it says every 5 consecutive waves, which means I should be able to hit 1,000 easy.
Shall we proceed?
Especially if I'm able to one-hit them, which I'm not, but whatever. Scoring penalties, fuck. Undying shard effect triggers during the Crucible. Total score gain will be reduced by half. Changing difficulty at any point will reset the score to 0. Consumables used other than Nessun despite or during a wave. Come on, this isn't fucking Devil May Cry. They're there for me to use. Quit telling me not to use them. Because I'm already not using them. Let me use them when I need them.
So, who are you exactly?
Why, I am Targon, champion of the Gilded Wilds, triumphant
They
herald
look very
of
gilded
the
to me.
Shining Citadel. Surely you've heard of my legend.
Nah.
Sadly, no. Not even a whisper.
Well, the horsemen have long been absent from the world. It's to be expected. What matters is that I am the respected overseer of the Crucible, which has tested the mettle of countless warriors throughout history. None have bested it, save myself.
What about Death?
We shall see how long that
Is
remains.
this a different guy?
I look forward to it.
Or, no, I guess these are happening, like, alongside each other.
A brave warrior, ready to accept the challenge. Proceed!
Perfect. Uh-oh. Flying dicks. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Care to give... Operate.
Oh, we're already doing worse. Fuck's sake, man. Dicks. I'm doing really bad, like, these are easy enemies, I'm not supposed to die yet.
Care to give it another...
And like, we just killed a boss, you'd think that we were out like that big dick energy still, but we don't. Fuck. I need to stop worrying about not getting hit and actually not get hit. That's how we're gonna get through this.
You young fool.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I almost prefer the old consumable system, because at least then I know that it's starting to heal when I press the button, even if I die during it. Here, it's just like so instantaneous that I guess I keep going. Like, I don't give it a long enough delay before I resume attacking, because I assume that it'll work instantly.
Care to give it another...
But I also have to come to a dead stop before it takes effect. It just ain't right. Ah. the environment changes. I guess it's gonna make the arena smaller eventually. Right now it's just a minor inconvenience. Another Ellie. Skelly Ellie. I am livid.
Caretaker, a brave warrior.
So when we were dying in that room where we fought the angel guy, we didn't leave behind a thing. Why aren't they doing that here? Is it maybe because there's a little strategy in leaving one behind to get an extra lurcher when you need it? I guess that's smart of them, but I also feel like they shouldn't have done it. Get Archer right away. Assuming I'm on the right side. He's not even spawned yet. Live up here. Oh. I wonder if your deaths here matter when you're playing on the nightmare mode or not. That'd be fucked up. I know in Hollow Knight, where they go to the Pantheon of the Gods, you're good. You're playing in Steel Soul or whatever. It's like that when you're in any of the dream rooms, actually, because they're just like much harder versions of the normal bosses. But also, it's a dream, so technically you're not dying, right?
Each triumph brings you closer to the pinnacle. Will you stop here, content in the spoils of your victories so far? Or will you forego these meager earnings and instead carry onward for a chance at even greater riches? The Crucible is not without reward, Horseman. As you progress, you will receive tokens, which you may exchange with me for exceptional goods. Or you can continue to wager them on future attempts, ensuring a sizable payout. Should you survive, of course. Take a look, Horseman. I may have something that interests you.
Okay, so I can actually max out the weapons and artifacts. I just need a lot of tokens. That's good. And I don't get to keep any tokens unless I cash out right now. Which, should I do? I don't... I get to keep the tokens and the money, or the souls, which I can upgrade myself with. And, like, you know, if I come back at a higher level, it'll be easier, obviously, and then I can get more stuff, and, like... This seems like a power vacuum, right? If I keep playing at it. And considering how many tries it took me to get through those, I should probably just cash out.
Not to worry, the Crucible can be daunting. Care to give...
But, like... If I make it to 25, maybe I get something really good for killing a boss. And, like, I should be able to do that, because it's only the first level of things. I guess they maybe do that to keep you from getting too much power too quickly. I limit it behind killing certain bosses. I cashed out that first time, but we're gonna try it again, see if we can get a little further. And then we'll go over to the Void, because I don't want to spend too long doing this one, like... So just come back later and it'll be a lot easier. It's nice that we get 1,000 points every 2 waves, since we're playing on the high difficulty. I think that just beefs up our score that much. Get more tokens. More tokaroonies. Can I just... yeah. They don't have any health. I don't need to charge it. Targon, let's go.
Brings you closer to war. Death or glory!
Uh-huh. Oh. I'm actually tell you, I didn't even make it a second in the 6th wave. Alright, well, we gotta collect our shit and then we'll get out of here. Maybe if we're having a rough time, we will come here and grind or something, because it's quick grinding. But, like, also the rewards from cashing out are that much more helpful for grind. Or I can do it off camera or something, I don't know. Obviously, we're gonna beat it on camera, but...
What would you ask of this humble merchant?
just general
Please.
power increase stuff, I can do that on my own. Maybe a good excuse to keep my skills from getting rusty in between play sessions. Oh, let's see if this is gonna be a weapon that I want to use more than the spear. Because I'm, like, not feeling the spear for some reason. I feel like I used it a lot last time. I think because it's arcane counter, you, like, throw it at the enemy, which is sort of like a ranged thing. Keeps you in safety, unlike these where you dive in. Looks like it's doing a lot more to him. Ow. Alright, well, since we're not trying to stay alive anymore, we can talk about stuff. I think the first thing on our list was... Nomad. Megalobox 2. Let's see, so I guess I should say... To start, my favorite anime ever is Hajime no Ippo. Also known as Fighting Spirit in English, I think. Though everyone just says Hajime no Ippo for some reason. Some shows are just like that. Which is a boxing show, right? It's like no anime bullshit, it's just realistic boxing. All the fights are based on actual fights that happened. Well researched. And, you know, while I don't generally like sports, I think that you know, sports shows, sports movies, those are good because, you know, they have a story. There's actual stakes to it all. There's drama. Which I guess is sort of the appeal of professional wrestling as well, right? Except it's kind of less believable there because they all, like, bitch each other out on the ring for some reason. I'm not going to interrupt you talking because we need a microphone. The arguments are too clean. Anyways, Megalobox, as they might guess, boxing show. Cyberpunk boxing, actually. So I'm like 1,000,000% sure it's a different director, but they sort of went for a Cowboy Bebop aesthetic. They like deliberately made it the audio quality worse and like the picture quality lower to make it look like it was from the 90s, which I thought was good. But as far as the fights go, they're like not that great actually. You can only see a punch so many times, I guess, or maybe they didn't want to do research, but like it's a lot less technical. It's more like tell the story of the guy and then you get exposition about the world. And then our man wins, right? And the whole thing was he entered the tournament, and to get clout, he fought without freaking prosthetic equipment. Like everyone's using super-powered, punchy gear, and he didn't. That was his whole gimmick. That's why he was getting attention, despite being a nobody, literally not even a citizen. I did say they gave you exposition on the world. That's like most of what the show is. Like not even focusing on the fight. It's just like examination of this possible future society where everyone's freaking brown and doesn't live in the city. Everybody doesn't have citizenship. There's like general poverty everywhere. When I say brown, I mean like, you remember the episode of American Dad where Stan's cyborg future self comes to visit? It's like everyone's just a mix of everything. Kind of like the Imperials in Elder Scrolls. That's what I mean. But it seems like there's a very strong Spanish influence. Specifically. Or Mexican, rather. I would assume they're in America. They never tell you. They could be on the moon for all I know. Or Mars. And the music was good. But, like, you know, I was overall disappointed by the original series, I guess. I feel like they could have done the story and action, but they, like, focused on one, not the other. But, like, I still enjoyed it enough to check out the second one. So, second season, again, this one has, like, way less fighting than even the first season. It is, like, straight drama. After the events of the first one, one of our freaking friends died, so you don't get to see him anymore. And our protagonist, Joe, just Joe, no name, fake name. He's like a heroin addict now, and he has a beard, and he just like wanders from town to town fighting people until they don't want to pay him anymore because he's a champion. But he goes by Nomad because he doesn't want people to know that he's the fucking ex-champion, since he's in a sorry state, I guess. I don't want anyone to find him. So basically, he just wanders around until he meets a freaking family that makes him realize what's important to him. He goes back to where he was, and then he does a fight. I swear, there's like 3 fights. So, again, the fights are also just, like, not good. They're not bad, but, like, when there's only 3 of them, you think they really could have put a lot more budget into them, but they didn't, I guess. I feel like they should have been the thing that you were looking forward to the whole time, but again, it's just a straight drama. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, like, it was good for what it was. Again, a big disappointment to me, personally. That said, quality animation, quality music, quality writing. It's not what I expected, alright? Or I guess it is what I expected, but not what I wanted. I feel like this is the right way, but like maybe these are both the same and I can walk around there. I guess I have to walk through the other way to get to that. This wasn't on the list, but it made me remember it. I actually watched a Netflix show, which is also a boxing thing, called Levius, which is not cyberpunk, but steampunk boxing. That one was actually good. Again, there weren't a lot of fights, but like they were the actual focus of the show. And, you know, they lasted like an episode or several, sometimes, with bigger fights. And they'd come in phases. Like, I think the final fight was like a boss with 3 phases. It transformed a few times. Again, we gotta look at a cool world. We got steampunk setting. Explain the mechanics of this unique boxing system. And, like, there is some actual research boxing stuff in there as well. And then you just watch the cool fights. That's more of what I wanted from Megalobox than what I got. The issue is that it's 3D CGI, which some people just don't like. I don't think it looks bad by any means. I've seen better, but, you know, could be worse. It definitely makes the fights specifically look good because they motion capture all of it. But I guess I recommend that over it. I see the wind I activated, but, like, I guess I have to hit it with the fire first to move those blocks. Well, why do I want that? Can I move it somewhere else, or is that just the way out? Jesus. What else do we have on our list? Alright, so this one's a bit weirder to talk about. Mushoku Tensei Jobless reincarnation. So, as you might assume, this is an isekai. We explained what that was before. This was in the wave of the originals. Like, it's very old in comparison to everything that you've been watching. However, the animated series only started very recently. But, you know, the novels, those are OG. So, kind of in a ReZero way, we have a freaking shut-in degenerate neat. Dies, gets reincarnated, blah blah blah. I guess what's unique about it would be that you go through the guy's entire life in this new world, like starting from point of birth. And you like watch him grow up completely in the novels, apparently. He's still a kid right now, but whatever. See, I said this one's gonna be awkward to talk about. The show is very pervy. Like, they do a lot of, like, Game of Thrones level sex stuff. It's not necessarily fan service, like, it's not overt about it, but, like, our character is really just fucking disgusting. Especially when it's, like, a kid with an adult's mind. Yeah, some weird things happen. It gets very rapey at points. No, the kid has not engaged in anything overt yet. He's becoming a good person in this new world because he actually likes people. So, like, he's resisting his urges, but he still has the thoughts. And, like, the people around him are also very gross. He has, like, a disgusting family he's born into. A lot of bad people. I guess Game of Thrones is the best comparison, how scummy everyone is. But let's see, the animation is really good. This kid thinks that he's just in, like, you know, like Lancaster or something when he gets reborn, right? He thinks he's in some Amish no technology place until someone finally casts magic in front of him. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? I want to cast magic. So he tries really hard to learn some, and yeah, he actually is, like, really good with magic. So he ends up becoming, like, a freaking god-tier water wizard pretty early on. And he's trying to learn the other trees, but water is his thing for now. So you get to see, like, some really awesome animation with the magic. He has some pretty sick spells. The fight choreography is good in general, really. The show looks amazing at every frame. It's just really pretty. What's really strange is it doesn't have, like, the serialized TV show opening credits. It does a unique thing every episode. I don't want to go into any real specific story beats, because it's a unique story, alright? Nothing happens was predictable so far. But yeah, as you expect, this kid's a little OP. He's kind of a big shot, but, like, he's also, like, weak. He's not good with a sword or anything. And again, elemental resistances exist. This thing is water. I don't know, I'm just really enjoying it. The second season's currently airing. But I guess just like be warned of the sexual assaulty and, you know, kid is pervert caveats, because that can be like maybe a little uncomfortable, make you a bit uncomfortable. It can be unsettling, whatever the words I'm looking for are.
This will be fun for both. As you wish. Take your time. As you wish. Do make sure they scream, horseman.
What else? Okay. Oh wait, I should maybe go on a tangent since it wasn't on the list, but I just remembered it. So, you know, the unique thing was that you grow up through this kid's whole life. Well, there's actually another show that does something similar called Ascendance of a Bookworm, which is not an action-y show, but it is still isekai. Basically, this person was a librarian. They were obsessed with books, and they end up getting like crushed by books, right? So they end up in isekai land. It seems like a normal world at first, but eventually you do discover it is a fantasy world. Takes a long time to get there, though. And she's in the body of like a very sickly, frail girl, and you know, no access to books. They're like that kind of poverty, Middle Ages. Only people in the church can read, or nobles, stuff like that. So you learn how this whole society functions, and this kid starts, like, inventing things. Because they have knowledge from the other world. And they just really want to be able to make books, but they end up making a lot of other stuff in the process. So I guess it's got kind of those appeal of Dr. Stone in some aspects, which we talked about last time. So it's not an action show, but the kid is OP in that they're smart. However, it doesn't always work in their favor because they're not supposed to have that knowledge, and like the church is suspicious. And people are trying to use her to get money and stuff. And she's just like, hey, as long as I get my books, we're good. But she's like ready to get screwed over. And her body's obviously super frail, so she has to have friends help her with everything. So yeah, it's wholesome. Got some of that Dr. Stone's science appeal. And, it's really well written. There is some action eventually, but it takes a while to get there. I just think it's an interesting show. It's not necessarily all drama. But it just holds my attention. It's good. Really good. Okay. I missed this. I hit it during the fight. I forgot about it. Oh, enemies.
This ends now.
Okay, so the actual next thing on the list was Mars Red. Which, while I think the show is great, and it's beautiful, and it's well written, it's, like, maybe hard to comprehend if you're not into theater stuff. Because the show is based off a stage play, not manga, not original work, stage play. So everything is very theatrical, people speak in, like, prose. I guess if you're into, like, Shakespeare, go for it. But it's a vampire show. They're vampires. The military recruited vampires is maybe making some of their soldiers vampires intentionally, and they're using them to hunt other vampires. Fight fire with fire, right? Real simple premise. It's everything that happens in between that's good. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't wholly follow it the whole time. They use words I don't understand, or they speak a little too much at times. But I think I liked it overall. But I really can't talk at length about it because there's just too much. And again, it's also just a really simple premise. So I guess that gets a recommend, but like, you know, you're gonna have to give it an episode or two to see if you actually want to continue watching it. Like, be prepared to not watch it. Fuck. I think the next one on the list was called Full Dive. The latest VR MMORPG is actually worse than real life, or shittier than real life, something like that. It's a very long-winded name. So as you might guess, it's about playing a fucking VR game, alright? So, relatively low stakes. It just isn't Sword Art Online, no death game. But, you know, unlike Sword Art Online, it's actually good. Because it's funny. This is Sword Art Online abridged, basically, which is also really good if you haven't watched it on YouTube. Basically, he plays a VR game that's, like, way too realistic. Like, it even has simulated pain. All the choices you make matter and come out in really shitty ways. There's a lot of fucking psychopath characters that you have to deal with. Let's see, our character really gets started on the worst end of things, where he ends up killing his best friend instead of going on the main quest. Accidentally, but like he gets blamed for it and ends up going to jail and stuff. It takes a long time before he's able to actually fight anything, and even then he gets his ass kicked because, like, you're how healthy you are in real life affects how strong you are in the game. And the penalty for dying is that your console gets destroyed, which really sucks ass. So you're thinking, why is he playing this fucking game if it's so shitty then, right? Well, the reason he even bought it is because he went into a random game shop since the game he wanted to buy was out of stock. And she's like, hey, play this. And, you know, register lady had big titties, so he's like, alright, I'll play it. So she follows him around in-game because she just wants to watch him play it. And she's gonna, like, fucking annihilate whoever actually beats the game. Like, she's one of those girls. So that's his goal. Get that puss, don't get your console destroyed. But he just kind of ends up embarrassing himself constantly, being a little bitch, getting his ass kicked. And a lot of funny stuff happens. I guess you would say it's got like D&D antics and how it's not action focused. He has to have creative solutions to win things because he's so fucking shitty. And yeah, I guess that's all I can say about it. I don't... going into any story beats actually would spoil jokes, so, like, we really don't want that. It's funny. Watch it. Also, the characters swear, which is always great. It's very realistic sounding dialogue. Whoever wrote the show has played a video game before. And, you know, of course, check out Sword Art Online Abridged as well. Just watch them both. You'll see what I mean when I say they're similar, but they're also great. Stop beating my ass, please. God damn. I didn't even use that much of the meter, so that worked out. Do you think it would be smart of me to, like, use that to punish? Since I can cancel it early, I can, like, get it back in time for when I need it to heal, but, like, just pop it to do a crap ton of damage when I see a safe opportunity. I'll probably never remember to try it. Ooh. So how do I activate that? Is there like a switch somewhere? Obviously there is, but where? I guess I could try gliding, or maybe I'm supposed to land on top of it. Like, maybe my rocket resets after a swing? Nah. Fuck. Maybe it's there as like a hint, or it's the way back. Regeneration enhancement. Wow, a new enhancement. What could it do? Damage on critical hit. Increase base crit chance per kill for 60 seconds, up to 50%. It's such a small increase. Does it expect me to kill like 20 dudes in a short time span? Because that doesn't happen ever. I like having more crit damage, but otherwise crits are unreliable. There's no way to increase it besides this charm. You just like drop one in here and just for fun. Huh. Seems like I can only equip it on the whip. More Volgrim.
Good eating. This will be fun for both, as you wish. Do make sure they scream, boss.
Shweepapoo. Okay. Next we have Netflix show Baki Hanma, Son of Ogre. So Netflix's Baki is actually a continuation of the 90s series Baki the Grappler. There's also like the whatever tournament. Right, there were like 2 seasons of it, though the first season was very long. So kind of like Berserk, they picked it up, remade it in like 3D CGI. I think this one's more of a mix, like it's maybe drawn over 3D. So, you know, Baki's classic, alright, it's good. It's just martial arts, everyone's really fucking gross and muscly, there's a lot of blood, people are breaking their teeth and growing them back. And, you know, you think Grappler means that he's like a wrestler, right? But nah. Grappler just means like an MMA fighter, I guess. He learns everything to try and be the best. But that tournament season, the second one, was actually really great. It was like watching a Street Fighter movie or something, like everyone had brought in their own unique martial arts. And they just did a tournament where people fucking died. See, in the Netflix series, Baki is actually voiced by Troy Baker, which you love to see. But surprisingly, the first season they did, like, barely featured Baki. We already know he's a badass, but it kind of, like, reintroduced us to all the friend characters he made along the way in the first season. And they did all the fighting until eventually Baki gets a fight at the end. And you're like, oh, this is why everybody likes Baki, because he's fucking OP. So I guess it was a smart build-up, but it was weird how they reintroduced everyone on what's technically the third season of a show. Obviously they did it because the second one ended like 20 years ago, but I, you know, watched them in order, so whatever. So I explained what a grappler is. That's more or less the concept of the show. Bucky's dad's a huge asshole, and he's the strongest man in the world. And he, like, killed his mom and shit. So, basically, he made the kid live on his own forever. He's like, hey, you're gonna be my strongest man in the world, and we're gonna fight, and it's gonna be fucking sick, dude. So he hates his dad, and he wants to get strong, not to be the strongest, but just so he can beat his dad's ass. And, you know, his dad's out being a fucking homicidal maniac this whole time. Occasionally coming back to check on him. And, you know, try to fight him. That's when his mom died. She died, like, defending her son from dying premature since he tried to fight him to death when he's, like, fucking 13. His mom was a huge bitch, too, by the way, but at least she was a mom. Baki's dad is just a piece of crap. So, yeah, it's not really a story-based thing. You just watch for the fights, and they're all, like, really violent, and the artwork's kind of gross, but you get used to it. That's pretty great. Though, I thought this was maybe the worst season of the bunch. And, there were two fights. One is him against an imaginary giant praying mantis, which was kind of cool, but also, like, stupid when you take into account that it's fucking imaginary. And the other was him against Biscuit Oliver. Big black dude who's in American prison. He's the freest man in the world, because he can do whatever he wants. This man smokes money. He's actually pretty fun. I like Biscuit. Yeah, the whole season's just like a build-up to his fight with him. Which I guess they're like closing in on his final confrontation with his dad finally. So he's like doing a training thing. And I don't know, I guess the only person who might be stronger than Biscuit still is Muhammad Ali. Who I imagine he's gonna fight next time. I just feel like not enough happened in it. That's why I said it's the worst. Like, the fights lasted several episodes, and there was a lot of build-up to them, and that just happened to take up the whole damn season. wasn't joking when I said Muhammad Ali. He is a character. As is his son Muhammad Ali Jr., who is supposed to be better, but he's not. He's like too cocky. So his dad eventually joins in. He's like, yeah, I'm still the champ. It was also really weird how he's the only person that Baki's dad respects. He's like, you know what, you're the best because you fought racism, my guy. But like, his dad's a huge asshole. I don't think that would be something he's concerned about. Dude, what am I supposed to hit? Or, you know what? If I lower this, and then I hit what's in here, something will change, because hitting this raised this. Is why we didn't keep it. I don't know why I keep switching. All these are activated with the fire. So what did this one even move? Just raise those? Okay. And... well, that gem's now covered, but it doesn't matter. So I guess I recommend the franchise as a whole. However, you need to be able to stomach the artwork. Like, it really does get gross. That needs to be up. I need to, like, move these blocks out somehow. That's the only thing that moves with that, so I can just leave it out. It's not a big deal. Is there no way for me to get up there? Oh, it has to be from on top of those blocks. All that does is cover that. You know what? I think I'm an idiot. I can get on top of them from right here. I don't know if that'll be enough to get me into the hole because of where they're positioned. Like, I think they specifically don't want me to get in that way. But it's a new vantage point at least. There has to be, like, another gem somewhere that I'm not hitting. No, it's not that one, and none of these take any other elements. I don't think I'm supposed to be able to do that. You don't think that I'm just in the wrong place, right? Maybe I can come in from above and I needed that to be open to go forward. It's possible. I'm not sure how the fuck to get out of here. What is this music we're hearing? No. I was gonna, like, shit if I saw that it was on the bottom of the thing the whole time, but it's not. This is gonna be dumb. Is this one that makes the thing... No, it's not. It's just in the middle here, isn't it? Nah. I thought that I would be able to maybe lift the block or something, but... I guess I messed it up. I think I need it to be on that side for it to even work, if that's an option. Not entirely sure that it is. I should also probably start by hitting that one first. No, it just moves right the fuck through it, okay. What am I missing? We can't go backwards. We tried that. Like, I'm stuck here until I kill myself, I guess. Maybe one of these accepts 2 elements, but I have to look at them all. I suppose it would be this one. Yep, it sure fucking is. Didn't work on anything else, and then fucking waste like 15 minutes. God damn it. Oh shit, he's alive. Well, this looks like an ambush, but I don't think I can wake him up just yet. Ah! What a man gotta do to punch a dick around here. Just kept not hitting on the correct delay. Alright, we made a full loop in this corridor, so we're probably about to hit the boss. They even put a shortcut right in front of Volgarum. That was nice of them. And there's a boss. There's a boss.
You don't belong here. I'm feeling benevolent. Leave the serpent holes or die where you stand.
I think you know they can't talk by now.
Die it is!
Zyon, Keeper of Storm. So, it didn't seem like this guy was any more resistant to the lightning thing. He just happened to be lightning themed. The elements don't really matter. Or, I think that, like, the combat system could have really benefited from you having to switch to elemental weaknesses to target specific enemies. And, you know, also switching them out to resist the things yourself. Remember how we talked about Masterpiece Indie Game Crosscode when we were playing Dragon Age? That's more or less exactly how things worked in that game. And, you know, every time you got a new element, the combat became that much more interesting. You're just adding more steps to the dance routine that you're doing with every fight. Shit. Aha! For fuck's sake. I was like seconds away from that using the Havoc form. His moves seem more or less the same as the other guys. A little disappointing. I mean, he hasn't done a Rocket Fist, so I guess he has, like, 1 or 2 original things, but I wish he was just a little more different. Because, you know, that sets the precedent that all these guys are going to be relatively the same. Right, whereas like, as things are, you just, you know, use whatever element you feel like using. It really depends on, like, what weapons you like. Since I'm not feeling the spear right now, I just haven't used it at all. But, like, I feel bad about it, because, like, there should be a reason for me to use it, other than the fact that it lets me glide. But that has nothing to do with combat, so it kind of defeats half the purpose. What? I wonder if those were all individual attacks, or if that was a new move that I hadn't seen yet. I swear, it's only been 2 bolts at a time. And he did 3 and a fucking burst. All in quick succession. Normally there's a delay between the attacks. So it had to have been its own move. Or, like, he attacks in patterns, maybe. Like, pre-fed patterns. It's honestly easier than building in a decision-making matrix to the AI. I think I'd learned my lesson to keep a distance after what happened last time, but I didn't. He also just did a rocket punch, so I guess maybe he got more moves. Yeah, never mind the part about keeping my distance. Once he's below half, he's in that supercharged state the whole time. He's gonna keep doing that. I just have to be prepared to dodge at a moment's notice. on, heal, fucker. Things, and then more bullshit, and lightning dick punch, game ovaries. Ah! Things are pretty intense once he goes fucking charge mode. There's not a lot of delay between his attacks anymore. You have to fucking be ready to dodge constantly. It doesn't seem like there's a big delay on his fucking chest burst either, which is what I'm really scared of. Because that can wipe out my entire health bar. Maybe it leaves me with a little left, but, you know, it's unlikely I have full health bar at whatever time. I say chest burst like he has a chest. His head is his torso. It could be a dragon shout. So, what is Skyrim Anniversary Edition? Can I ask that? I looked into it, like, you'd think they're doing an update, maybe they're finally implementing some of the patches that the fucking community came up with a million years ago. No. It seems like they're just giving you a free pass to whatever is currently available on the Creation Club. So, mods, aka paid DLC, mini DLCs, whatever they call their creations. And then they're making a few of them free for the base version of the game. Like the fishing and the survival mode, which I'm personally excited about finally playing, because I liked their survival mode conceptually. I think that Frostfall is, like, neat, but it's way too much work and honestly kind of unfun. Whereas the one they came up with, the Creation Club, is both more elegantly implemented into the game and also just less work overall. It keeps the game flow going. It's a lot funner. But I've never been able to play it because I didn't want to pay for it. I also think that using creations alongside other mods like creates problems or something. Like you either go one route or the other. And obviously if you're on console, that's a great thing. I'm glad it exists. But like, what does it mean for people on PC? It's probably just the port of the game to the next-gen consoles if it wasn't already on there, which would surprise me. But, like, why are you releasing a new edition of the game when all you're doing is giving people DLC that's, like, not even pre-installed in the game because it's all optional still? You didn't make any visual enhancements, you didn't fix any bugs. What is Anniversary Edition? I guess when it comes out, it's gonna technically break all the mods that exist for Special Edition right now. But since it's not changing anything in the code, it should just be a quick fix for all of them. The issue is how many of those, like, mod authors are still active. Who is gonna put in the effort to change the version number or whatever that's supposed to be compatible with? I feel like I'm missing something, right? Because it just seems like there's not enough. Also, Todd says Elder Scrolls 6 is still in pre-production. I don't understand why they ever announced it. We knew it's been in pre-production forever. Like, all they did was show us a fucking title card, and we expected to hear more news about it since they finally said something. But it was nothing. It's more egregious than when they did the Metroid Prime 4 thing. Because at least then they had something, it was in development, they just had to scrap the whole fucking thing because it was bad. So, like, they have a more valid excuse for why we haven't heard anything about that name drop. Still, I wish they just remained silent on it. I also think it's weird how they, like, focus their efforts on Fallout 76, of all things. Like, the game flopped when it came out, and they're still putting a lot of effort into it. Like, it's a decent game now, to my understanding. There's actual content in it. But, like, not only did they not give up on it, it's weird that they would start production on it, like, not even 2 years after the release of Fallout 4. Like, you would think Elder Scrolls would have been next in line. What really upsets me about the Fallout 76 thing is if they're willing to put in that much effort to revive a game that was broken, why haven't they given that much post-launch support to any of their previous games, which all have bad bugs that are consistent across all games made in that engine? The solutions are known, they freaking implemented the same way across all the games. Why did they never, like, put them in themselves? Fuck. Someone even fixed the freaking memory leak recently, like a month ago. So your save file will no longer bloat and fucking crash after like 60-some hours. Oh, I'm sorry, Jinxie, you went out. Off. Oof. Ugh. Fucking hell. That was too close for comfort. Ah. I think the counter that I do might be directional, like based on whatever way I'm moving. And maybe that's why I sometimes do the jumpy. I'm standing still. Okay. Ow.
You're not worth
Fuck. You think it's time to use a shard? It probably is. I feel like I've gotten close to killing him enough times. And like that last one was bad, but it was just unfortunate. I feel like we can do a lot better than that. You know we can. So maybe I should use something that, like... I have an inventory where I can read the effects of these. Right. I have String Shard. That's what I want. Wherever it may be. Ah! Ah! I'm trying to not even use heals until he goes super, because I can get it back from lifesteal pretty reliably at this point. Can I switch to the nunchucks? Did, what the fuck? Oh, fuck, fuck. Obviously the fortification shard's the one I want for the second half of the fight. But one, I have a lot less of those than I do the strength ones. And two, it's going to be useless for the first half of the fight, and I'm not going to remember to pop it in the middle of the fight, so we're going with strength to get us that second half quicker. Sure. Use a tornado right away. The tornado's like decent crowd control, but it kind of makes the enemies hard to read once I pop them. And they do good damage. But again, they kind of just lead to me getting fucked, I feel. Because they cover up his hands, so you can't see through them. Maybe I should stop using them? I won't feel as bad about not using this once I have the other hollows, which I'll probably like more. But for now, I'm just like, I want to find a reason to use it. I swear to God, if Eternal Return isn't a fucking knockoff Returnal, I'm gonna be pretty pissed. This isn't going well. 3 hours, jeez. And we're going to beat him, and then that'll probably be the end of it, but, you know, I'll be able to say that we killed 2 bosses in one thing, so that's pretty great. That's good progress. Sadly, I'm not able to talk as much as I want because, you know, Talking makes me play bad. Can't do that during boss fights. Even when I'm going like fuck fuck fuck, it's like in rhythm. It helps me focus my button presses for dodging. It's kind of dangerous of me to give you the example mid-fight, because it was not on beat with his attacks. I don't like that they track me. That's why they're so hard to fucking dodge. It should just pick a spot and attack it, but like it sticks to you until it attacks. So you basically have to perfect dodge or not at all. That's fucked up, dude. And, you know, you think maybe the attack's a bit useless if it sticks to the spot, because all you have to do is move and you're good. But that's why you just add more strikes, have more strike at once. In a small arena, that makes it pretty deadly, and you have to watch where you're dodging, because, like, even if you perfect dodge, you can land in a bad spot. It can be just as dangerous in the other way, just, like, less bullshit. I remembered to pop the thing. Oh boy. Alright, so like we won, but I'm salty because half of our shard is going to waste. And yeah, I know I'm being too fucking cocky, so that's why we won. And yeah, we won. Fucking kill secure with the Havoc at the end. Alright, give me a better weapon. The pole arm of scorn. Like a halberd? I don't know why I said of scorn, like his arm, all of scorn. Okay, so what is it? Oh shit, it's a fucking Darth Vader thing. Not Vader, Darth Maul. I think this is also called a glaive, technically. No, it's not for throwing. Just like, it would be a glaive if the stick was shorter. Why would I not put the, why would I not put this one on it? Alright, so it's still got pokies, but I think that the range is bigger, so what, is it weaker maybe? Less commit on that, because it doesn't stay and do super pokes. Well, that one does. But there's always a sweep at the end. Which means guys who, like, ganged up on you when you went in for that will get the dick, too. That's still the same. I don't know, I like it a little better. It's got more AoE. Cool.
What would you ask of this? Please take your time.
We'll go to the Maker's Forge, see if we can upgrade anything. And then we will wrap this up like a sandwich. I've never actually wrapped up a sandwich, I always just put it in a lunch bag. Saran wrap does not like me at all, especially with my hairy ass fingers. It just like, there's hella static, it gets stuck to itself, gets stuck to me. I don't fuck with it.
Well met, Fury. Aiming to lay down a mighty hurt, are we?
A mighty heart.
What did you think that was possible? But now, you're even deadlier. Interesting. All right. Let's see what I can do for you.
I almost have enough to do that, so maybe I should consider hunting down one of the Chosen, because I know where one is. I don't remember where any of the other ones are, but I know where one is.
Aiming to lay down interest. All right. Let's see what I can do.
And I would need to preserve the angelic ones to get that, so I can spend a demon one if I want. Am I using any of these other ones? How good does this become? 25% physical damage reduction. That's not bad. Pretty good, actually. And then, as much as I want to get the damage, because it has the biggest immediate effects, I should probably go with the physical reduction, which will cost Angel, so I don't want that just yet, but I'll probably end up using that for something. That's probably more useful overall, since there aren't enough sources of arcane damage, I don't think. Okay, next time we're gonna go back to where we fought Wrath and see what's past there.
What would you ask of me? Take your time.
And then we have to go back to the swamp, because that's the only real way forward if that Wrath place is a dead end, which it probably is.
Please take your time.
Through the nether. This one. That's all, folks. I probably should have brought up the menu to end it when I said that. Fuck. Bye.